take the politics out of science. I mean, we've had this for actually a few decades now of almost mass hysteria around any scientific innovations, when really we need to just understand that our entire economy, our agricultural economy, is based on science and research and innovation, and we need to be back there looking right across the spectrum as what we're doing now and saying, how can we do better?
What's one technology you think has massive untapped potential, and what's one technology that you think poses some risk that we need to be concerned about?
It might be, for instance, that we look at whether or not we can look at what's called now precision breeding, which is essentially gene editing of things. And we need to say, what is it that we're doing and why do we want to do it? And that's really where we need to go. But it needs cross-party support. And that needs basically Labor and National to say, we're going to put the country first.
Are you speaking to Labor about this?
Well, we've got a new minister now. I've previously spoken very briefly to Megan Woods, who was the minister, and one of the things I do when we get back to Wellington will be seeking a meeting with Al Shaviro, who is the new minister, to see where we can find some common ground.
You've previously called Bitcoin and blockchain technologies incredibly exciting. I'm just wondering if you could say, why is it exciting? And just give me the briefest explanation of what blockchain is.
I'll tell you, I think it's actually just extraordinary. So it's a little bit like NFTs. It's pretty much that people decide that something's going to be worth something. Not that it actually has an intrinsic value based in gold or anything like that, but then again, nor do countries' currencies these days. So it is basically a currency system where people decide that this is going to be worth more.
The blockchain, though, how does that work, this immutable ledger? What does that mean and why is it transformational?
Well, it is transformational because it's actually changing the way that countries think about things. So maybe we need to start thinking differently about how we operate. But what will happen with anything like this, countries will not allow private individuals or businesses and people to set up their entire currency systems when they start to become effective. But we've already seen, though, I have to say, Bitcoin and all these other cryptocurrencies have had a bit of a loss recently.
The value's gone down, but the technology itself, I think, is what's interesting. Why don't you put some government spending on a blockchain so every taxpayer can see where every dollar is spent? Absolute transparency. You're a fan of fiscal responsibility.
Well, I must say, that's a new idea that I haven't actually heard of before, but I've got to say, it does have some appeal, but I'm not going to promote it as a policy.
You'd consider it,
what
were you
I
minister?
like is transparency, because my taxes, your taxes, everyone's taxes,
sure,
we don't know where they
So you would
will
consider
go.
that?
No, I'm not going to go down that path. You're just trying to trick me there, Finn. But I do think it is important that we have more transparency. And if you think about our ability now to even map and to show where things are going, like money or it is amazing what we now can do now that we couldn't do 30 or 40 years ago.
Let's go for one more concrete example. The video game sector in New Zealand has been crying out for more government support. If you were minister, is that something that you would investigate?
Well, we're actually at the moment putting together our policies as we're going to the next election, and we've got to go through all that process. But what is really clear is that the countries and the states that have actually really got ahead around technology and using technology are those that have encouraged businesses to set up their...
You've got technology, you've got science, you've got innovation. If we're taking these things seriously, split them out into some individual ministries. For example, Saudi Arabia is one of the only countries that has a minister for artificial intelligence.
Yep.
Would you consider that?
Well, I did actually have a portfolio called Artificial Intelligence.
Where did it go?
Well, it isn't there at the moment. It's part of my technology.
Is that a problem?
No, I think I'm doing the artificial intelligence area. People have a Terminator 2 type attitude around artificial intelligence. They think it's going to come back as a robot that's going to come and take out the human race. No, it's actually enables us to do things so much faster and better.
Does Christopher Luxon take science and technology as seriously as you did when you were leader?
Well, I think he does. I mean, these are the portfolios I asked for. These are the ones I have.
Artificial intelligence isn't in the title anymore. It seems like National's leaning away from science and tech.
I'm someone who's come into technology a few years ago and actually being completely, let's say, wowed by the whole thing, about the opportunities. And I've also looked and said, where have we really succeeded as a country?
National's got some wind in its sails now. Is this the portfolio that you're going to be gunning for if you're back in Wellington?
Absolutely.
No more aspirations to be leader?
Very happy doing the work I'm doing and very happy working with really positive people.
So Judith Collins, you will never be Prime Minister and that's okay by you?
That's perfectly fine. I just want us to have a country that's going ahead, not going backwards.
Judith Collins there. That's all from us for now.